Hi, I'm Mike Komnick, and I'm the U.S. IT manager at Martin Engineering in Neponset, Illinois, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about careers in IT, specifically at Martin Engineering. So let's talk about our IT staff. We have myself, I'm the IT manager, so I am in charge of all of our U.S. IT operations. So that's everything from purchasing computers and tablets and cell phones, all the way through servers, networking switches, and also setting security practices and policies, as well as the direction of the IT department in the future. On staff, we also have system administrators, and our system administrators handle specific servers. So for example, we have 2 people assigned to our MRP, which is our manufacturing resource program. And what that does, that is like the spine of our company. So that's our manufacturing system that controls everything from how we take orders to how we bill orders, to how we get paid, and how we build everything in the middle. Those people are responsible for the databases associated with those servers, as well as maintaining servers themselves. We have a network administrator, and the network administrator is responsible for all of the network. So everything switching, everything that happens on the network itself. So from internet access all the way down to computers being able to talk to each other, to the server access that's needed as far as permissions and things like that when people access programs. Then we have a help desk, which is the entry-level position for IT and where most people tend to start out. And our help desk is level 1 and level 2. And what I mean by that is that they handle problems that are basic, like everything from password resets to a little bit more in depth, like my laptop will not start up and we actually need to take it apart and physically look at it. So there's kind of a wide variety of options there. Most people that get involved in IT though, even if you go to school for it, will primarily start out as a help desk role or at least a customer facing role until you get acquainted a little bit more in the industry. So as we talk about that, let's talk about some of the skills that are needed to work in IT. Typically, you would want a 4-year college degree. There are some 2-year technical degrees that work well also, to at least to get you started in the field. But typically, what employers are looking for are 4-year degrees. And now that degree can be in anything from computer science to computer programming to network administration. There's all kinds of specific categories for those. One of the career paths that I chose for myself was I chose to go for computer information systems. And what that means is it encompasses everything in the IT realm. So I know a little bit about everything, but not a lot of bit about anything, if that makes sense to you. Some of the skills though that you need that they don't really teach you in college, but skills that you need to have to function effectively in the roles, you need to have really good problem solving skills. Because no matter where you work in IT, you're going to have to solve problems. That is one of the functions of our departments, whether it's help desk or whether it's my role as the IT manager, you have to be creative with solving problems. The other thing, you have to have the ability to work independently. We have a staff of 5 of us and we support 250 users in the US and then some globally as well. So you have to be able to work independently, but also rely on your teammates somewhat. So it's kind of like an even mix. You have to be able to work under high pressure situations. And when I say high pressure situations, I mean anything from trying to figure out what's wrong with a projector in a conference room while somebody's waiting to give a presentation and there's 30 people staring at you, all the way up to you're working on the CEO of the company's computer and he can't get his email and you need to figure out why. So there's varying degrees. Thankfully, we don't have a lot of high pressure situations in my business. We're a very good company to work for, but it's one of those things that you have to think about because when somebody's computer doesn't work, the first thing they want is they just want it to work. They want you to get right on it. And there's an expectation that you know everything, even though you may not. So we covered a little bit about education as far as a 4-year college degree. There's also other certification programs that are popular in IT. Some of the ones right off the top of my head are the A+ and Network Plus from CompTIA. They are good certification programs. And basically a certification program says, I know what I'm doing. And it gives you a little leg up in getting the job. There are a ton of Microsoft certifications. If you pursue that route, there's a lot that get very in depth, and the Microsoft certifications also get very expensive. So a lot of times you will actually work for an employer, and then they will help you obtain those certifications as well. Then when we talk about IT, we tend to think about the stuff that's in our server room or the stuff that's on our desk, but we also have to think about cloud computing. So the stuff through Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, you can get certifications in those as well. And those come in really handy, especially because as more companies such as Martin Engineering are global, we start leaning more on those platforms of cloud computing. So that's something to keep in mind also. When I started at Martin Engineering in the IT department, I've been with the company for 20 years now in various positions throughout. I actually started in the shop and then went to customer service. I went back to school to get my IT degree and then made my way as in the IT help desk. And I was in the IT help desk position for quite a while, which I loved because I enjoy interacting with people and fixing problems. So it was a good fit for me. And then I moved from the IT help desk position up into a system administrator position that had more responsibilities. I was in charge of our customer database and anything that entails with that, such as quoting and things of that nature. And then I ultimately moved up into the IT manager role when my previous IT manager had left the company. So the typical career path for me in manufacturing environment was just that: help desk, system administrator, then IT manager. There's other careers and other career paths in IT as well with different companies. Some of the larger companies, such if you're working for a Caterpillar or a John Deere, you have not just an IT department, but you have a hardware department, you have a software department, you have a cloud department. So all those allow different flexibilities and different career paths for you to choose. It's quite fascinating how much the industry has grown as technology has changed. So in a role such as I've detailed with the help desk, system administrator, and IT manager, salary ranges, in our area, you're going to expect anywhere from starting out, $35,000, $45,000 a year for help desk, which is a good starting, point to get to. It gives you experience. It gives you a little bit of customer service experience, and then you can kind of package that together and promote your way through. As far as IT manager salaries, then this range, they're up to probably around 150,000. So that's a pretty wide range from 45,000 to 150,000, but it also gives you plenty of room for growth and plenty of room to expand. IT workers are definitely in our need in this area. We have a lot of need. We are not, especially at Martin Engineering, we have a core group, so we're not always hiring, but we like to get interns in as well. And then we work with them over the summers, and then eventually they can be offered full-time positions after they graduate. So that's something to keep in mind too. As you're pursuing an IT degree, you can become an intern for a company and then possibly even get on with that company later. It's a very valuable experience, and our internships are paid. So we talked about a little bit about Martin Engineering's IT. We can talk about other avenues in IT as well, other career paths. So I was a programmer for a little while. I wrote web applications with bank software. It was not my forte, but it was an interesting job. You can also be a database administrator, where your sole responsibility is administering a database or a set of databases. There's a lot of programming involved with that as well. A mobile app developer, that is ever increasingly common and becoming a booming field, because as everything transitions to mobile apps, Android and iOS and Windows apps, then there's more of a need for that as time goes on. Of course, video game programming was very popular probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's still becoming a pretty good industry to get involved into. That gives you a whole different level of programming. Whether you're programming a video game or bank software, it goes off the same principles, just different way to get there, and one's a lot more fun. but that is something to consider as well. I know a lot of schools have programs specifically designed for video game programming. Security specialist, there are a ton of jobs in the security realm because as the world progresses and as things change, there's always a need for IT security. Whether you're securing a cell phone, a tablet, or a computer, or a whole company, there's always a need, and that will never go away. So there's a whole, we could do a whole talk just on getting a job as security and IT. There's a lot of programs out there. Most of them start with a foundation in computer science though. So as long as you, even if you want to go to college or a technical school and you want to get that leg in the door or foot in the door, then you can start with start in computer science and then just kind of dictate your path from there. So that's a little overview of careers in IT. I hope you found that entertaining. And of course, you can always contact me with questions or anything like that, or let me know your thoughts. So thank you and good luck to you.